You ready? All right, good evening. I'm Chief Michael Kemp. I'm the Chief of Transit for the NYPD. With me is the Chief of Department, Chief Jeff Madry, Chief of Patrol, John Shell, Commanding Officer of Patrol Borough Bronx, Phil Rivera, Commanding Officer of the 50th Precinct, Philistine Saror, and Captain Derek Bentley from the Force Investigation Division. So the information I'm about to give is preliminary and subject to change, as this incident just occurred a couple of hours ago. But this evening at about 7:55 p.m., officers from the 50th Precinct responded to 911 calls of a man with a gun at the train platform at Broadway and West 238th Street, the number 1 line. The callers described a man acting crazy, waving a gun at a crowd, which included children. The officers responded immediately to the train station, walked up the stairs. It's an elevated platform, and they were met by multiple witnesses who immediately pointed at a man who was on the platform area and said, "That's the guy with the gun." The officers approached this male. They observed a gun or firearm in his hand, and they ordered him to drop the gun and stop. The male refused to comply with their directions and began walking southbound on the train catwalk, parallel to the train track. And he was walking southbound on the catwalk toward the next stop, which is 231st Street. Based on that, the officers put the description over the police radio to other units in the field, advising them the description of this individual and telling the other officers what direction the male was walking toward. Again, these officers continue to follow this male on the catwalk of the train track, and again, multiple times ordered him to drop the gun and stop. This male refused to comply. As the male was approaching 231st Street, responding officers went up to the train platform, and they too walked up to the catwalk and started walking toward this armed individual, basically sandwiching him in. The officers sandwiched him in. Again, multiple demands from the officers who were in uniform were given to this male to drop the firearm, and he refused. It was also, should be noted, that multiple times this individual pointed that firearm at these officers up on that catwalk area. It was at the point that he pointed the gun again at the officers where one of the officers fired one round, striking this individual one time to his left hand. That gunshot hit his left hand, causing the gun to drop and ended the threat. The officers immediately went over to the male, secured the firearm, and rendered aid to the male. The male was removed to Barnabas Hospital, where he's in stable condition, and the officers are not injured at this time. Questions?
All right, any questions? Here's the firearm here. One second. All right, what's your question?
There was an incident earlier around 7 p.m. at Station 3.
We're talking about this incident here today. We're talking about the train station shooting. Next question. Anybody else?
Prior contact with this individual? Were you guys familiar with this person?
Yeah, so we are familiar with him. Again, this is under investigation, and we're still determining just how we are familiar with him.
Anybody else? Any other questions? On topic, any other questions? Thank you, everyone. We'll show you the gun. This image of the gun will be put out. The image of the gun will be put out on NYPD News. I will hold up the gun for you.